Gerot, Kerrygerot, PIO for the city of Long Beach. We also, I'm just going to make a reference, we are posting continually updates on our social media and our website. The website is longbeach.gov and the social media is at Long Beach City and at SCE. Okay, so I'd like to turn this over now to our mayor, Mayor Robert Garcia.
Thank you. Let me begin by just obviously thanking again our police and fire, our public safety personnel for the great work that's happened over the last 3 days. This has been very trying for The good news is that as of right now, we have about approximately 80% of those that were originally affected have their power currently back on. We estimate the number is about 650 customers that still do not have power. Almost all of them are concentrated in this area that we're actually standing in right now. And so this area around the Civic Center is still without power because it was the original site of the failure. And so that's why crews are still working right now to restore power in this area. But we are pleased that a vast majority of those that did not have power now have power. And the incident has been mostly isolated to this area we're in now. There are a few pockets that Southern California Edison is aware of that are in other parts of the downtown, which are still being looked at, and they're still being worked on as we speak. And so that is ongoing. I just returned from the Emergency Operations Center. People are feeling optimistic. We know the next few hours we're monitoring, obviously, the outage. We also are aware that earlier today, power has kind of gone in and out in some locations, but we are feeling hopeful, and our Edison rep is going to speak to that right now, that it looks like this will hopefully hold, and then we can continue to get power to the rest of the folks that need it. Our Emergency Operations Center, which is at Cesar Chavez Park, is open. Will continue to stay open for the foreseeable future, and our fire department will speak to that in a minute. But anyone without power is still of concern to us. And so while there are only about 650 customers.
Thank you to all our neighbors for helping each other in their time of need as well. Volunteers will continue to canvass the affected area tomorrow as necessary, beginning at 8 a.m. The remaining affected residents can seek both shelter and resources, including ice, water, food, and flashlights tomorrow at Cesar Chavez Park from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. A hot dog lunch will also be provided at 11:30 a.m. Red Cross and CERT team members will remain at the shelter overnight for remaining affected residents. We urge residents to stay at home unless residence becomes uninhabitable, at which time they can utilize the established shelter at Cesar Chavez Park at 401 Golden Avenue. That's all I have. I'm going to turn over to Southern California Edison.
Okay, good evening. Paul Guigo, Grigaux, Vice President of Transmission, Substations, and Operations with Southern California Edison. So first off, I did want to also add my thanks to, again, the mayor, his staff, the police department, the fire department, Department of Public Works and Public Safety. It's been a phenomenal collaboration, and their support and help throughout the past 3 days has been instrumental in helping us get through this. I also want to add my thanks to the community and to our customers for their continued patience. They've been very supportive, and we will continue to need their support over the coming hours as we complete the restoration for all of our customers. And finally, I do want to recognize the SCE team, our field crews, our engineers, our operators, the incident command center that we've had for the last 56 hours or so. Again, we could not have done this without them, so I just want to recognize them as well. So as the mayor stated, we have approximately 80% of the customers back up as of now. The system is holding well. Voltage stability is very positive. We believe we have about 650 customers, as the mayor stated, that is still without power. Those are the known areas at this point in time that have been affected. We do want to encourage our customers to continue calling in to the call center at Southern California Edison and I'll pass on that number here real briefly. It's 1-800-655-4555 if you do have power out. It could be that your breaker is off, but it could also be that you may be part of a pocket that we need to troubleshoot and continue the full restoration process. We're expecting at this point in time about 24 hours is sort of our current estimate, and that is a conservative estimate for the remaining customers that are off, that we know are off at this point in time, including this area that we're in right now. And I think that's about all I can think of. Maybe I'll add a comment on, we do have 14 generators right now that are still interconnected with a number of customers throughout the system. We are right now in the process of converting those customers back into the network one by one, and we also have additional generators on standby to the extent we need to connect remaining customers to those generators to expedite their restoration if it takes any longer than the 24 hours as stated earlier. So I think that takes, I can take any more questions? Or?
Questions?
Yeah.
Okay. One more thing before questions. Just as a reminder that tonight, like the last few nights, our police department and our fire department will be out in full force throughout the downtown area, and especially the areas that are still without power. And so you will see significant activity like you have been in the last few days. And we're thankful to everyone for the last few relatively safe nights that we've had in the city of Long Beach. So continue to help your neighbors and check up on them. And now we'll do a few questions. Paul?
I can't see any hands if there are any hands.
So what was the criteria that you used to install those generators? Because some people, particularly at this building, have complained that why generators across the street and not on the property?
Right, so we did work with the city to identify sort of a prioritized list, if you will, starting with those customers that are the most vulnerable, and those are typically the senior centers that we've had throughout the city. So that's essentially how we developed the list, and then we try to secure generators wherever they were available to begin the restoration process. But that was an ongoing effort, and we've been staging additional generators, and our plans were to continue connecting customers down that priority list, if you will. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a resident here, and I've been living here, since the 70s, and I know this is a great city, but as you know, tomorrow's going to be real hot, and we don't have any power at all, like you mentioned earlier, but I know Long Beach is doing everything that they can to bring out the power, but we are really suffering, because we don't have no electricity. Everything went down the track, and we don't want to lose our hope, and we're hoping that this can get resolved within the next, by tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'm really crossing my fingers,
Yeah.
and I appreciate everything you guys are saying, but we're really the ones that we have to deal with. How come that section?
Yeah. So just first off, I just want to express my deepest apologies to you and your neighbors. We're doing everything we can. We are very hopeful that power should be restored within the next 24 hours in the vicinity. We'll be checking in with this neighborhood, making sure that you're taken care of, and we're hopeful. So thank you for your patience. Yeah, one.
Cause yet for this?
Excuse me?
Do you have a cause?
No, we don't. We didn't. That we wanted to power up, and again, I think there's a few senior centers that were in the area. I don't have a good answer though.
Tell us what you did technically to make this happen.
Yeah, so it's complicated, as you can imagine, but ultimately, this network was designed to operate as a single network, and where all the components are designed to operate together. And our attempt to try to isolate the network into 3 independent networks to begin restoration and avoid dealing with the potential points of failure that we were identifying each time we tested the system served its purpose, but it also came with an unintended consequence, which was recognizing that we were suffering from a voltage support perspective, voltage stability. So hence the need to really consider this as a single network, and so we came out and we're able to introduce additional circuits feeding this entire network, and ultimately repower the entire network as if it was operating under one single network, and therefore all the components were talking to one another. We were able to maintain voltage and restore power to most of our customers. Yeah. Good. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I think that concludes questions. Thank you everyone for being here. We'll provide further updates. We don't have a time set for that. However, they'll be working through the night, so sometime tomorrow. And please check all the social media that I mentioned in the beginning. Thank you.